Hi, I'm Rowan Schreier. Welcome to another edition of the Southern Football League web show, proudly brought to you by Leader Community Newspapers. Just a moment, I'll be joined here by Peter O'Dea, the Murrumbeena coach, leading into this week's Southern FM 88.3 match of the round, which is Murrumbeena versus Black Rock. Later on in the show, we'll have the round 14 edition of the Southern Footy League Top 5, and we'll also be joined by Black Rock coach James Charles. But firstly, very warm welcome again to Peter. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Now, let's just talk about last weekend for a moment. A bit of a scare, 6-point win over Ashwood.
Yeah, we played terrible footy up there on their ground where it just blew a gale on one end, and we just would never, ever look comfortable. They drew level in the last quarter, but we had a bit of luck go our way and kicked a goal with about 5 minutes to go and just managed to hang on.
Bit like you make your own luck in footy. A couple of controversial 50-metre penalties helped you get over the line?
No, not controversial at all. They were there and they were warranted, and the umpire played them.
No problem. Now, the wind out there at Essex Heights Reserve, it's always been a windy ground. With the wet and windy conditions we've got at the moment, are you doing any specialised training for that?
Look, I'm a big believer in not training in the rain. I know a lot of people find that hard to believe, but I'd rather keep the players out of those sort of conditions. Do running or boxing instead, because I really don't think you get much out of it. Blokes will get colds, the skills are usually pretty ordinary, the footies get heavy, and you're just likely at this time of the year to pick up injuries at training in that sort of weather.
Now, just moving forward, looking ahead to this week's big clash back at Kangaroo Road against the Rockers, you've got a chance to, for the second week in succession, knock a side out of the finals contention.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, after last time, I think they knocked us off by about 12 goals down at their home ground, so we're certainly looking to take some revenge for that loss early in the season. And
it could be another couple of weeks looking forward of knocking the sides out of the finals with Caulfield and Hyde to come in the following two rounds.
Yeah, it's certainly every game is sort of like a mini final for us right up until the last round. So. And
that last round is Heatherton
at Murrumbeena.
So it's just reclaimed top spot in second division.
Yeah.
So
let's hope they rest a few in around 18 for the finals.
No problem. Well, we're going to talk in the top 5 about a young fellow who kicked a couple of goals. We won't go too much in order to spoil it now, but any chance of another couple of those young guys that you've been blooding during the year coming up into the senior ranks?
Yeah, absolutely. The gentleman you're talking about will probably be offered a spot this Saturday if he wants it. It's certainly there for him.
Alright, well stay tuned, have a look at the top 5. I'm sure you'll know who we're talking about after that. Just quickly before we finish up, a couple of parting shots as we always do to our guests. Minor premiers this year in Division 2. Heatherton or South Yarra for you?
Oh look, I thought South Yarra after they flogged us were going to be too good, but now I think it'll be Heatherton. Yeah, I think they'll finish minor premiers.
Okay. And what has been your happiest footy moment
this year
in your career?
Oh, probably grand final victories.
Anyone in particular that stands out?
They're all as good as each other.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And just a preference of sport. If we were to win a World Cup, would you rather it be in cricket or soccer?
No, definitely cricket.
Definitely.
Even though I'm not a fan of either sport. Yeah, but definitely cricket.
No worries. And we're in the middle of an Ashes series. What's your result prediction for the Ashes?
Oh, look, I think England might win 2-0. They're already one ahead, so they have to win another one and that'll be it.
Okay, so no joy for the Aussies?
Bit inexperienced.
Very interesting. Alright, well thanks again Peter for coming in and joining us here in the studio. Stay tuned, as I said, coming up next is the Southern Footy League Top 5 for round 14, and then we'll be joined by Black Rock coach James Charles. Thanks again to Peter O'Dea for coming in and joining us here in the studio. Now it's time for the round 14 edition of the Southern Footy League Top 5. And starting us off at number 5 are the Lindale Pumas, who managed to stave off relegation for now at least with their victory over Moorabbin on the weekend, so well done to Lindale. At number 4, Chelsea Heights make the list. No one I've spoken to so far can remember the last time the Hiders had a win at McKinnon Oval, They managed that on the weekend and have taken second spot, clear by a game with 4 to go, so well done Demons. At number 3, Hyatt coach Stevie Wright. Everyone was looking for him earlier proceedings on Saturday before their game against Oakley Districts. The reason they couldn't find him, he had a whistle on his hand. He was out there umpiring the reserves, so good work Stevie. Never enough people around to do all the jobs, are there? At number 2, we're going for a bit of youth in this week's top 5, and young Hugh Nicholson managed 4 goals in the seniors for Caulfield on the weekend. Not that special, you might say? Well, he's 16 years of age, and he backed up on Sunday in the Caulfield under-17s with another 4 goals in their 3-point win over Oakley. So, to 16-year-old Hugh, great effort, mate. Keep kicking. And to number 1, Sean Thompson from Murrumbeena gets our top gig this week, and I'm sure he didn't celebrate with too many beers on Saturday night because he's a Colt. Under 18, but 21 goals was a fantastic effort, and I'm sure it won't be long before he's running around Kangaroo Road in the seniors. So congratulations to Sean and everyone that made this week's top 5. Stay tuned for the Black Rock coach, James Chalice.